Oh, we got somebody in here. Cuse Cruisers. Hello, my friends. How are you doing Friday? How's your Friday going? Is this Sarah or Bob? Or both? I'm going to try to watch this on my phone. Let's see if that's possible. Hi. Love the shades. Thank you, my love. I mean, unless it's Bob, and then thank you, my friend.
Hi. Love the shades. Thank you, my love.
It's Sarah on the laptop. It's Bob is listening in. Oh, it's a little bit of a covert operation there in Syracuse. Okay, and I see I've got some friends down in the southern part of the country. Let me turn this down. I came out a few minutes early because I'm trying to check out the audio and video. Give me an idea of what this sounds like. I'm still operating this tablet. It's still new to me. Hang on a second. I'm supposed to be getting a computer in this week with the generosity of a sweet friend. That's a nice gesture on his part. Looking forward to getting that. I have a shirt on so you can't see my moobs. What's this up here? Oh, guess that's the shirt. I thought it was my moobs. Mute your phone. Yes, we are getting feedback. Okay. What's this shit on my screen? Okay, I muted it. Now, let's give it another try. Testing 1, 2, testes. 1, 2, testes. 1, 2, 3, testes. How is that sound? How do the testes sound? It is Sarah on the laptop. Okay, that's right. There's a delay on this. Jonathan Short and Shauna Short. They're in the house. Good to have you both. I was going to mention you folks afterwards. What is this? Crap, I should have worn my good glasses. Mom Bell of New York. Oh, okay. Hi, Cuse Cruisers. Let me go shout out to you. Okay. Life is good today. That is my dear friend, Ronnie Stokes. Ronnie, everything okay as far as, you know what? I'm going to put that in a different but happier place. See, this is the green screen I was telling you about, Ronnie, but I don't know if it will work or not. I don't know. What do you think? What? I don't know. I don't have an actual green screen. Let me try this again. Any feedback issues right now? Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Audio. I'm getting audio through my phone, but it's at a delay, which I think that's consistent with StreamYard to YouTube to my phone. I think there's always like a 15-second delay. I remember watching Rafi and Danny do one from my hotel room here a few months ago when I was in Oklahoma City, and they were doing one, and I would hear them talk, but it wouldn't come through for quite a bit. Seemed like it took like 10 or 15 seconds, and Rafi said that was but that was typical. Why can't I get this thing to stand up? What a pecker. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm getting ready to go on live to everybody. I'm just trying to, Ronnie, I just wanted to check things out ahead of time to make sure um, everything was okay in Mozo land. I see our guests are already on here. That's good. Be dealing with them in just a minute. Mom Bell of New York, perfect host. Why, thank you. She thinks I'm the perfect host. I don't think that's what she was talking about. Means the audio and the video are perfect. Good. Um, okay. Well, I want to welcome everyone here. We're a few minutes early, but that's okay. I'd rather be early than late any day. Um, I don't typically have to wear glasses indoors. I do quite often, but I definitely need them today because I look like I'm on a hangover, and I promise I've had no alcoholic beverages for quite some time. Probably about 6 days now since I had alcoholic beverages. Um, that was in another part of the country. Um, I'm talking about the sound host. Yeah. Okay, let me see here. I got to move to this. Mega shout out to you. Okay. So we got Mom Bell of New York. And of course, my dear friend and inspiration, Life is Good Today, which is none other than Ronnie Stokes. Dr. Ronnie Stokes. Well, not doctor yet, but he soon will be. He is pursuing education at a frantic pace. And you know what? I've got some friends that I was able to meet in person not even a week ago. It was Saturday, last Saturday. No, it was a week ago. It was last Friday, actually. And I was in Boiling Springs, North Carolina. And these folks drove up on Friday night to be with us after my live show and after Ronnie's live show. They broke out into Dance Fever USA. And I promise I didn't dance one bit, but I certainly enjoyed the entertainment. Um, because Jacob, I don't know when Jacob actually runs out of energy or if he ever does. I was exhausted just watching that boy. I think he's asking for back trouble gyrating the way he did. Ready for you when you are Papa. Okay, good. Um, Tyler, sweetheart, did I miss your live? You know what? I did too, Sarah. I missed, I was about 15 minutes late because I was trying to get these eyes back in my head. And by the time I got back to it, his video was over already. He did a real good video on Universal. You can go back and watch it, it's good. Tyler had some upbeat music with some slow motion video, and it made for a nice paradox. It was really quite good. Um, my friend and yours, Chrysler Imperial, is here. If you don't know who he is, he's got a channel. He does the same thing I do. He tries to encourage people. He tries not to dwell on the negative crap that's all over the internet. We all know about that, and there's no shortage of that. And we just don't need that in our lives. We need less of that. But Chrysler, if you haven't checked him out, go check his channel out. He's a creator as well. Good to have you, Chrysler. Thank you for coming in. Tyler Show, no live today, Sarah. I just wrapped up my week of theme park visits. I would not make it time for the live show, so instead, I'm trying to read with these glasses. I published a new theme park blog. Yeah, Tyler, your blog on Universal this evening was very good. I'm sorry I missed it live, but that's okay. Hopefully, you still get credit for it, even if we come back and watch it watch it later. Some people making connections with Chrysler Imperial. I met Chrysler Imperial through the traveling community. Um, Okay, I want to bring our guests on. This is Friday's featured friends. And I have a different Friday featured friend every Friday. And these people are fine people. I've known them for a few months, I think. I've seen them in and out of different live streams. Um, Sean, if you or Ilana can place about the time we met, I know it was before Edna's Shoeathon. That's what I prefer to call that. Um, but I don't know when that was. I'm sorry. Um, anyway, I want to introduce them to you. Most of you know them, but if not, I want you to get to know them, right? Make some notes, write this down so you can go check them out when you're done here. And that is the Down Under Cruisers. That is Sean, Shaun, I believe, and Ilana, Ilana. And their last name is Ornelas, Ornellas. They're from Melbourne, Australia. Now, let me see. Let me put this link in here. Okay, there's the link for Sean and I forgot, Ronnie showed me how to do it individually, but I can't remember. I can't remember how that was done. Now they're going to pick up that link and click on it. Let me see who else is here. Us and more, they're here. Hey, these are friends of mine from the south part of Florida, Cape Coral, Florida. And that is none other than Dwight and Heather Watkins. Hey, all the way from beautiful Melbourne, Australia, we have two lovely people. Will you all give a rousing round of applause to our
How are you,
friends,
Papa?
Sean and Ilana? I am,
Good
well,
morning.
I am okay. Good
morning,
morning.
good
Yes,
morning.
it's morning for you. Now, is it 1700 here? So it would be about 0900 there. Is that right?
Correct.
Very good, very
Spot
good. I'm
on.
impressed.
Spot on.
I'm trying so hard to keep that straight, Sean, because it changes when your daylight saving rolled. And our daylight saving is getting ready to roll in, 2 weeks? On the 1st, November 1st. No, I'm sorry. It's the first Sunday after November 1st. So whatever that is.
You know what it is, Papa? It confuses the living daylights out of us because we change our time slot to meet yours.
I have no idea what's going on.
And then we end up changing back. Oh gosh. I know when I first met people 20 years ago, I first had friends on the internet from Australia. I forevermore was calling him at 2 and 3 every morning because I had an international. Back then, you had to have an international package on your phone, or they just charge you crazy amounts. And I remember calling him, and I'd say, "Hey, good afternoon." He's like, "Hello." You could tell he was fast asleep. And I said, "Oh no, did I do it again?" He's like, "Yeah, but that's okay, mate." I thought, "Oh,
Yeah,
We've had that many times.
I've got some cousins who live in Boston and another one in Fort Myers. And when their mother passed away, we rang them up. I rang them up at like what was there 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking I've got their time slot, but it was it's fun.
my sister just landed. She just landed in Manila a couple hours ago."
Oh,
And she
fabulous.
called me bragging about her internet. And I said, "Well, I told you I was going to do it 9:30. She said, "Well, I thought you meant 9:30 here." And I was like, "Sean,
Nope.
I don't," and my sister spells her name the same way too. And I said, "Sean, I'm not living in Manila. I live in Chicagoland. So it's going to be on my 9 o'clock, not yours." So anyway, but we got it all straightened out and she's got her internet package now. So no more whining. But I'm very glad to have you. Very glad to have you. How long
Thank you
have
for
we
having
known
us.
each other? Any idea how long we've known each other?
Well, I think we started going on in March when we started full blown, and probably about another 2 or 3 months before that, because I'd seen you on all the other chats on who was it?
Sharing
Sean
it
and
too?
Casey's, and on Lalita
Oh, yeah.
Loca, and
Yeah.
the Ship Show as well, and a couple of others. Oh, and that other
Right.
mob. Who is it? Starts with a U. Us and us and
Uh-oh.
us and more. That's right. Us and more. Heather and Dwight. Yep. Just
I've
throwing
just taken the call on that channel. Uh-oh. Because I know if we're on at the same time they are, there's going to
Yep.
be a debate about the car situation. So,
Yep. Yep.
I have a solution for that whole car situation.
And that is.
Everybody just take the subway.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
I'll go with that one.
Or just put the
Just
steering wheel.
take the.
Just drive in the
Go ahead,
middle.
Ilana.
Just put the steering wheel in the middle of the car,
Well, that's an idea.
and just
Now there are cars like that here in the United States. It's called a slingshot. I think that's what they're called. They actually have they're a weird shape. They actually have two wheels in front and one in the back in the center, but they do have a central cockpit. But it is tight. I'm sure it feels like a cockpit. I've not sat in one, but I'm not really designed to sit in one of those.
One of the racing car companies built
that's
a
better, PAPAMOZO.
street car with the steering wheel right in the middle, and then the passenger seats on either side.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was. I think it was it wasn't Ferrari. It was one of the others that. To be honest, I don't remember which one it is.
Was it Lamborghini or Aston Martin?
No. It was one of the big the Formula One racing vehicles. And I can't remember which one. Maybe somebody else in the chat might remember.
Hang on. Ronnie's saying, PAPAMOZO, take the banner off the screen. Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, keep reminding me. I'm supposed to be changing this, and I forget. Ronnie has to keep me on my toes at all times.
Yeah, Heather's decided she knows why we drive on the wrong side of the road.
And why is I know why I drive on the wrong side. Oh boy, here we go.
I'm still trying to.
Why is that, Heather?
Yes, I'd like to know why too.
Yeah.
I haven't figured that out because I say when in Rome. Of course, the Down Unders don't live in Rome, and neither do we.
No, that's right.
And it's
I
wrong.
I always hear people quote that, but I'm thinking, well, you don't live in Rome. Although I do have a cousin that lives near Rome, so. You said you have a cousin, Sean. You have a cousin in the Fort Myers area. That's where.
Yep.
That's near where Dwight and Heather live. They're in Cape Coral.
Yeah, that's right. It's about 30 minutes away from them.
I should get points for saying Cape Coral because I finally.
You should actually.
You're doing well with
you
that.
should actually, because Heather has told me that anytime PAPAMOZO gets Cape Coral correct, we should give you 10 points.
Well, then I just got my first 10. I always get hung up on because I think there is a town called Coral Gables, and you know how sometimes you get a certain idea stuck in your head and you don't mean to.
Yeah,
I think that happened, and I just got Coral Gables on the brain. So I've tried to think of all kinds of things to get the association right. Finally, I just had the idea of the Great Barrier Reef being kind of a crescent shape, maybe a little bit, looking somewhat like a cape around a big section of Earth, which is Australia. So I think Cape Coral. That's the association I use. Let's see. Man, I can't hardly see. I'll be there in November for my cousin's celebration of life and didn't know if you were close and would say hi.
That's Cuse are busy having a chat there with Heather and Dwight, I think.
Oh, okay. Mom Bell of New York sounds like somebody.
Okay. Heather has answered the question as to why we drive on the wrong side of the road. Is because when I was 18, I had my wisdom teeth taken out, so I don't know the right side of the road from the wrong.
Well, Bad news for me then. I've had all four of my wisdom. I have no wisdom left.
Funny, it's those of us who've had our wisdom teeth removed are the ones that people say you're so wise.
Oh boy, well, I'm not gonna touch that because I think I would only add fuel to the fire.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so glad to have you guys on here because you're delightful people. Since I've known you, I've always liked you, and I want you to tell us about your channel. Give us an idea of your schedule, and then of course of your of what type of content when you do reach out with your live shows. Tell us what you do and why you do it. We would love to hear it. Sean and Ilona, everybody.
Well, can I just say, well, thank you for the opportunity. I think Sean should really begin because this was his passion project to begin with. I think it might have all started with us. Most of you might know that we've basically been shut down, locked in and locked up. No parole given since about
March.
It has been about March. We're looking for good behaviour tomorrow. We might be released on good behaviour tomorrow. We're crossing fingers. But since we've been in lockdown, I think Sean was just looking for something to do, and he was always fiddling around in his office, which has now become the studio, on Facebook, and then playing around with YouTube. And I just let him go and was wondering what he was up to. So because he started it and it was his sort of little project which has sort of taken off, I think let him go first. And if I can add anything later, I'll do that.
So I was watching people like Lolita Loca and Sharon at Sea, and then also later on Us and More and a couple of others. And I was thinking, all you guys are focused on what's going on in the US arena. So what cruising's going on in and out of the US. And I figured there's nothing happening that gives you any indication of what's happening about our passionate area called Australia and New Zealand. So I decided what I'd do is create a channel that was geared to giving out information to Kiwis and Aussies. G'day, Chris. How you going? As a result, I started off talking about New Zealand and Australia and giving hints and tips about what we've got here, what sort of cruises are going in and out of Melbourne and Sydney and other cities around the place. So what you see in the screen there is the background of Melbourne,
It's
our home city,
our beautiful hometown.
We're not travel agents. We are just people who are passionate about cruising. Our first cruise was our honeymoon. It was on the Golden Princess, which
to New Zealand.
Yeah, to New Zealand, which we're actually a little bit sorry to see go, but time is a traveler. Our next cruise was to the South Pacific on the Sun Princess. And again, I think we better stop going on cruises because every cruise ship we've gone on has now been sold on. G'day, Nick. How you going?
We'll ruin the entire industry just by stepping on a ship.
Having said that, it was actually a bit of an eye opener for me because Ilana was actually brought up and grew up in Fiji, and so I had the opportunity to see her childhood home when we were in Suva. So I've always been passionate about selling this country. I'm not Australian by birth. I'm Australian by adoption. I'm originally South African by birth. And I can tell you now that I've never been more happy to be in a country such as Australia than I am right now. Reason for coming here, when I was 17, I was due to do national service straight after finishing school. And my parents decided, they made the terrible mistake of deciding that leaving South Africa would be the best thing for myself and my sister. And so I'm eternally grateful to my parents for making that terrible mistake, because I've never been in a much more pleasing country to live in than this country here. And if it wasn't for that move, I wouldn't have met this beautiful woman next to me. So to all intents and purposes, our channel is we keep in time with your time schedules. So we run on Friday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern time, which equates to in our winter, your summertime is midday, so hence the brunch time sessions
Brunch with the Down Unders. Yep.
But
if I may, let's just back up one moment real quick, because you said something I want to make note of. I get ridiculed for saying schedule.
yep,
I get ridiculed all the time for saying schedule.
yep,
I know what the word is supposed to sound like. The word is supposed to be schedule. However, a lot of Americans, maybe, who don't have all their teeth or whatever, say
Correct.
schedule. They're going to get out behind schedule. Like schedule. There's no A. It's schedule.
Yeah.
Now,
We were pulled up just
Papa,
last week for that too.
Papa, let me say, only the intelligent people speak properly.
Oh, what's that again? Here we go. And spelling color with U, exactly.
Yes.
I mean, come on. You guys are lazy. You take out the U.
And neighborhood, neighbor.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
But if you spell it that way in American schools, you'll get docked for it.
Yeah, well, what can I say? English did come from the English.
That's right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I know I interrupted your train of thought, but you said something about schedule, and I thought, yes, someone said it right.
So our schedule is 10 p.m. Eastern for the US. When you guys go back an hour after your daylight saving comes out, we will still continue to do it at your 10 p.m. time slot, because we don't want to encroach on anybody else's channels. So we will move our time schedule it will be 2 p.m. Australia, Melbourne time, on Saturday afternoon. So your Friday evening is our Saturday.
So it is 17:14 right now in Chicagoland, but we're on Central.
Yep.
We're on Central Daylight Time right now, and we'll be switching in a couple of weeks to Central Savings Time. Central Standard Time, because there's CST and CDT, Central Daylight Time, which is during the summer, and then Central Standard Time. Central Standard Time is what we're on all winter long here, because we're heading into winter soon, whereas you're getting ready to head into
summer.
Summer. That's correct. Yes, lovely. We're looking forward.
Do you have to deal with more brush fires and that type of thing in the summertime? Or
we do.
We're preparing now. Our fire services are preparing us. We've got public service ads starting now about clearing off your properties and making sure your gutters are clean and etc. And having a fire plan prepared, because we don't want a repeat of what happened tragically last December, January, which was really just awful.
Oh, I tell you, folks, it really, we sat over here and just cried and cried. It broke our hearts, because we saw the people suffering, we saw the land suffering, and we saw the innocent pets and livestock and everything suffering. There were hundreds of thousands of animals that were destroyed that just couldn't get away from it, and wow, it was heartbreaking to watch. And there were firefighters from all over America that made it to Australia.
We're very grateful too.
And we are grateful to your fire services for your assistance, to be honest.
And unfortunately, a huge majority of our koala population was decimated. And
I heard that.
We're very concerned that koalas are soon going to be extinct. So we really need to get our numbers up and really take care of them.
I'm sure you've seen more than your share of koala videos of koala population that were actually, they lived, but they were badly burned and scarred.
Yes.
And I saw a video of one lady, fire lady, grabbing one and putting it in her arms, and the poor little animal was still smoking. Its hide was still smoking from being burnt.
Yeah.
And you thought, man, I cried for the animal, because I know the animals can't cry, but man, it was hard, hard, hard to watch. And of course, there were people who died too. It was just a nightmare for everybody involved. And I was hoping, that there would be, I know how the system works here, and we've got to cut fire breaks and things like that, better fire breaks at least here. And until we do that, I don't think it's going to change much. But I didn't know. I've always viewed Australia as more of a flat land than I have of a like the western side of the United States.
It has its places. I mean, if you go in the middle of the outback, which right in the center of Australia, that's relatively flat, and the only real big hill is Uluru. But then again, if you look at some of the coastal areas like Sydney, like parts up of New South Wales, it's actually quite hilly. So you get some really interesting undulation happening.
I have a friend that lives in Sydney. He lives in a small one-bedroom flat, like an efficiency.
Yep.
And it overlooks the Sydney Opera House. He can see the Sydney Opera House from his window.
How lovely.
And then I've got another friend that lives in the western suburbs in a town called Penrith. Am I saying that correct?
Correct.
You are.
Penrith, yes.
Yeah.
Penrith is a suburb just outside of Sydney.
Yes. I think it was a western burb. And
Yep.
I would love to get over there and see him and see my friend in Sydney and see you.
Well, you guys got to come down and see us. I mean, first of all, if you think about it, and if you can get, I'm just going to paint a picture for you guys for a minute. So you get a repositioning cruise, say, for example, when they're happening, you come in through, say, coming in from, say, Hawaii or whatever. You come in to, let's say, you stop off in Sydney. So your first thing is you come in and you see these two rock formations on either side of you. That is Sydney Heads. Bit of a rough trot. So you get over the rough where the ocean and the heads meet. You just sail in. Either side, you've got mountains and hills and buildings on both sides. You come up, and then as your ship docks, so you've got Sydney Harbour Bridge on your right hand side and the Opera House on your left hand side. You're popping into an area called Circular Quay. Behind you is the Sydney Taronga Zoo, which the animals have the most incredible view of Sydney that you can ever imagine. And right in front of you is Sydney, the city of Sydney. All you got to do is just get off that ship and you're in the center of Sydney. What an incredible view you've got there.
For Melburnians, we're doing a very good job selling Sydney.
We are, we are.
Our city's got a lot to offer too.
It does, but it just takes a little bit longer to get into it, because when you get into the heads at where is it? Out near Port Phillip, at the edge of Port Phillip Bay. What's it called?
Queenscliff.
Near Queenscliff, that's right. You go through Queenscliff. Again, it's a bit rough because that's where the bay
Bass Strait
hits Port Phillip Bay. And the thing about Melbourne is the harbour, it is a protected harbour. So you come on in and it is relatively flat. Jump in the water, it's relatively cold too. On the right-hand side as you're coming in, or on your starboard side, you've got
Show me a picture of Melbourne Harbour. Okay, I'm going to show up a picture and
it's
see
really
if it'll
not so
come.
much of a harbour, to be honest.
Is that showing up?
Yeah, it is. That is part of Melbourne Harbour. That would be one of the areas, I'd say, just on St Kilda Beach. But then, if you look at some of our, that's
That is on the other side of that breakwater,
right.
Roger.
Yep, that's Westgate Bridge.
That looks like a really nice area.
It is absolutely exquisite.
Wow.
But we're really passionate about our city of Melbourne, because if I was to compare Melbourne to Sydney, we call Sydney the great old hussy, and Melbourne is the grand
The
old
grand
lady.
A great old hussy.
Sydney's a bit glitzier and pretty on the outside. Melbourne's bit more classic and traditional. The food capital, the coffee capital, and the fashion capital.
Go further round. Yeah, that's a better indication. Much better look.
I don't know if you're getting
if I'm looking at that picture now, on the left-hand side is the freight section, and on the right-hand side of that is where the passenger terminals and so forth are. So that's really right down the center of the Yarra River.
Wow. Yeah, that definitely looks industrial over to the. Now, is that looking? Do those two forks head north or south?
They will head. They actually head east, because the Yarra River actually goes right through the center of Melbourne. So if you're on the north side of the river, you're headed north of the city. South side of the river, obviously south side of the city.
We're south,
and so we're
the south side. Is where we live.
On the right-hand side.
Oh, I shrunk it again. Hang on. On the right-hand side of
that picture, just slide a little bit more to your left. Just slide your phone a little bit more to your left. The whole phone. Move the whole phone. Not the picture. There you go. That's it. No, you had it before. There you go. That's it. So if I'm looking at your picture, the right side of the picture is south. Left side is north. And all the freight and industrial area, it tends to be on the northern side of the city.
Okay.
With just west Melbourne, sort of the western suburbs.
The western suburbs tend to be more of the industrial side of things.
Didn't realize that Melbourne was and I don't know why I didn't realize it. I study geography quite a bit, but I didn't realize it was such a port city.
Oh, it is. Melbourne at one point was actually the capital of Australia. It is our industrial. It does equate to about 60% of all imports that come into the country. You were going to say?
I was going to say, during the gold rush, Melbourne was the richest city in the world at one stage because of our the gold rush. PAPAMOZO, we've lost you, by the way.
You're hiding behind the camera. There you go. I've got
we can hear you, but there you go.
You know, I'm operating on a tablet and on my phone. I have a computer coming in, I think this week.
Awesome.
Let me see who is on here. Who else we have? See the World with Chris. You all know Chris Barnett. Viso's Travel. Let's see. I am seeing you right now. I'm scared to go and get a traffic accident with the strange way you drive.
Thank you, Ruffy.
Here's another one.
Do you know, Ruffy decided one day that he was actually going to show me the correct side of the car. Now,
really?
Well,
the correct side's all relative, isn't it?
It is.
Really?
Excuse me.
I'm looking at more pictures of your beautiful city. And let's see, I need to.
We are very multicultural.
Trying to do this backwards is tricky.
It is an awesome city. And in actual fact, what I'm going to suggest to people is don't get focused on looking via video. Just get on the airplane and come over and have a look. Or get on the cruise ship and just come over and have a look.
When our borders open, of course.
Yeah.
We don't know when that's going to be.
But listen, the way things are going everywhere around the world, we can start planning.
We can always dream.
Yeah, that's
exactly right.
Cross fingers.
There is a wide-ranging school of thought as to when vacationing is going to be viable again. And I don't know. I've got one planned for February. In fact, Chris and I have the same birthday, Chris Barnett and I, and we were going to celebrate our birthday on the Panorama out of Long Beach, which is Los Angeles.
Awesome.
Our birthday is February 23rd, and so we have the 20th through the 27th booked on the Carnival. It's going to be Mommy and I first. It's going to be my first Carnival cruise. I've never been on a Carnival ship. She has a few times, but I haven't cruised much. And so we've canceled like 4 this year. Well, we were booked on Celebrity Summit in March. Canceled that. Got one for Memorial Day, which is the end of May, which is right around our wedding anniversary, and it ended up canceling. So we rescheduled for July 4th, which is our Independence Day. It ended up canceling, and then we ended up scheduling for Labor Day, which is the first Monday in September. That got canceled, and finally we're just like, you know what? And then our Carnival Breeze with a huge group cruise, that got canceled the end of October. And so in 2 weeks, there's not even 2 weeks. There's a whole bunch of them that were going to be on that cruise that are heading to Cancun, Mexico. Nautical Nurse Nancy, Life is Good Today. I can't remember. There's a whole bunch of them going down. Mexico has made bank on this because so many people love these all-inclusives, and they're able to go down for about half the price that they normally cost. And plus, for the social distancing, the resorts are operating at like 35%. So everything is socially distanced by default. So a lot of people really like that. I've never been to an all-inclusive. I don't know how I feel about that. Have you?
I've been to a resort in Fiji that I don't know. We don't look at it as an all-inclusive, but I suppose it was because meals were included. Or drinks, I think you had to pay for, but I suppose that's about as all-inclusive as you would get.
Oh my God, you had me at Fiji is a 4-letter F word. Oh, I would love to go to Fiji. Paul Atta he's an Aussie that is living in Canada right now. And as soon as this pandemic lifts, he is traveling and moving to Fiji. And I said, man, I want to transfer. I want my retirement to transfer down to Fiji.
I wonder it's my happy place.
I was at Journey with the Gingers. They just popped in. We're glad to have you. Spikers, Crazy Adventures. We're happy to have the Spikers. Who else?
Hey, Spikers.
The Shorts I had last Friday, a week ago. They came up to Ronnie and Alma's house, and we had a blast. Now, I can't dance anymore. Those days are long past, and my heart would never take it. And
well, you did a pretty good job at Edna's thing.
Did I? What? Wait, what?
Yeah, after the shoey.
You were doing a very good job there.
Oh, no. We'll not get into that.
I want to say something, Papa. If it wasn't for this forum, people like us, we would never have met. And I'm eternally grateful for the stuff up that is called the virus, because if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be using these forums to communicate.
We would never have met anybody.
Yeah. So for starters, okay, that's the only positive that comes out of this thing. The rest of it is all a bit of a downer. But I'm eternally grateful for meeting the people that I have met.
I wholeheartedly agree and could not have said it better. I had this conversation over and over with people. Ronnie and Alma, I was sitting in their living room talking with them. And as much as I've hated this solitary confinement, so to speak, it has really been a blessing in a very coy disguise. But it has been a blessing because I met Sharon at sea. They were the first people I met. And immediately through them, I met the winner of their contest was Blaine Rayleigh. And Blaine Rayleigh absolutely has brought so many people together. I can't even tell you. I would almost everyone I know via Blaine Rayleigh, or they
us too.
participated. Yes, and wonderful man, Blaine, and I hope I get to meet him someday too. He lives in South Carolina, but I am very thankful. I don't believe in coincidence. I've lived too long and been dead, officially dead, too many times to believe in coincidence. I just don't anymore. I believe we serve a God who is much bigger than our circumstance, and He is the ultimate lemonade maker.
Yep.
If we are dealt a basket full of sour lemons, he somehow has the spiritual sugar to mix with it and make it turn out just right. Not too tangy and not too sweet, and refreshing on a summer day. And he is the ultimate lemonade maker. And man, this is proof of it, because we would never know. I would certainly not. I wouldn't know you. You wouldn't know me. I've not met officially, but I've got to know a little bit about Malcolm over in New Zealand. I've got people watching my streams and my vlogs now from Kuwait, from Bahrain, from Dubai, from Malaysia, from Thailand, Hong Kong, Tokyo. Some of my former students live in China, and they are able to get, despite what people say, they are able to get the internet. And I have some of them that watch my videos. I don't know if they're really supposed to be doing that, but they tell me it's not a problem. So, and I know people all over the world that I otherwise would not have known. And I don't think there's a bigger blessing than having friends in your life and having people that love you.
Absolutely. And also added to that, I want to look and say, first things first, in terms of forums, you are of the Christian faith, you're a minister. We are Jewish. There are people out there that are Muslims, Sikhs, Hindus, and we all come together in the same forum. I think that's right. Also, I mean, I look at the Middle East and I think, why can't the Middle East have peace like we're having right here, right now?
I think the answer to that is, I think it comes down to money. There's a constant battle over a small area, relatively small area of land over there that has been contested for a very long time. And there's biblical prophecy. Well, I'm not going to get into a prophecy lesson, but I certainly don't have to tell you and Ilana.
No.
You know the history about this, and how there are going to be certain factions that will always be at war. And it's always interesting to me that presidents of the United States think they can broker and bring these people that have been fighting for thousands of years. They think that in a 2 or 4 year term of the presidency, that they can go over to the Middle East, and God bless them for trying. God bless them, but some things are just going to happen until they don't. And I wish before they tried to police the world, I wish they would read up a little bit on ancient history and find out what happens and why and things like that. But I agree with you, Sean. I like that Dionne Warwick song from a long time ago. I believe Burt Bacharach wrote it. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. That's the only thing that there's just too little love. What the world needs. Journey with the Ginger says Blaine is definitely awesome. We're going to meet up with him in November. Excellent. Excellent.
Gingers, I feel so sorry for you. You know, that Blaine guy, he is, oh my goodness.
Oh, I tell you got to be careful with Blaine.
Yeah.
Blaine is one of the good guys, But he was the kid that when he was in school, he was a real goody. And then when the teacher wasn't looking, he would like knock the books off somebody's desk and take his hand back real quick, and the teacher would never suspect blame. And be like,
somebody else I know.
Be like, Johnny, why did you do that? And Johnny would be like, Blaine did it. And he's like, now, Johnny, don't you lie to me. Blaine would never do that. I know you did it. And Johnny would get a paddling, although they can't do that anymore. But when I was a kid, they could. Hello, everyone. Hey, looky who's here. Hello, everyone.
My school time memory was having somebody step out of line and the teacher didn't know who it was. So we lined the whole group up, and with a little pinch underneath the arm, the one who was next to the teacher copped the most of it, but the rest, yeah, that's it. And the rest of them would try and just pinch the clothing.
When I was the little kid and they did that, we were offered a choice. You could either do that, take a pinch, or you could put your knuckles up like this, and they take a ruler and smack your knuckles a couple of times. I mean, it was torture, but we didn't know it at the time. We just thought it was life, and I don't feel like I was ever abused, but if you did it now, you'd go to jail.
Hang on. It was a badge of honor for us. We used to have stripes on our ties. And every time you went to see the principal and he would give you the cane, you'd make a mark on your tie. And the person who had the most marks, that was like the badge of honor.
Oh, my goodness. I was telling my children years ago, and my daughters, they'll be 22 in January. And I was telling, of course, they think their grandpa, my dad, who's getting ready to be 87 in a couple of weeks, they think their grandpa is just the sweetest little old man. And I'm a very large man. I'm 6'1", and at one time I weighed 420 pounds. I still weigh 260 pounds, and so I'm still a pretty good-sized guy. My father is 5 feet tall and weighs 110 pounds. So he's a wisp of what I am. And they were having a hard time understanding why I feared that old man. And I said, girls, he looked to be 20 feet tall when I was a little boy. And even when I looked down on the top of his head, he still seemed larger than life. And to this day, I'm very careful what I say to the man because I respect my father and I love my father. I don't feel like I was abused. It would be abuse in today's world. And I got an alarm going off. Let me get that.
And I couldn't agree more with that statement.
We come from a different generation, I think. And
we do.
And that's how we feel about our parents.
And I think far too many times, especially today now, kids do not have the same respect for authority like we did. Because we knew that if somebody said to us, don't do it, it was for a good reason. You know, I'm thinking of the likes of some kids at school. I'm thinking of the likes of juvenile delinquency that's going on these days. You know, I often ask the question, who's the parent?
Yeah. Where are the parents? That is exactly what I want to know. And I had a neighbor lady one time come out swearing. She was just running her mouth like a sailor. And the little kid came out and ran his mouth like a sailor, and she smacked him right across the face. And she said, where in the F did you hear that shit? And I thought, hello?
Yeah, the role models are lacking nowadays, I think. We send them to school and expect the teacher to fix everything up and then send them back home and nothing changes when they leave the school grounds. That's the problem.
It's actually quite funny when I look at Ilana. Ilana's background was a school teacher. When you and I went to school, Papa, you know, we did something wrong. The teacher went and told the parents. Mum and Dad would give us what for?
You were breaking your boots if you got a phone call from the principal. Nowadays,
absolutely. Yes. If my parents always took my teacher's side. Yeah, my parents would automatically assume that I messed up.
Correct. And you had a
And
consequence.
they did not inquire about it either. They
No.
smacked and they spanked first, and then they asked questions.
Yes.
They're like,
Correct.
Yes.
now, tell us why you backtalked your teacher. Well, I knew better. I wouldn't try that. Because my parents always told me, if you ever get in trouble at school, you'll get it twice as bad as you get it at home. So
Yep.
I never got a whack. I never got a whack one time. I feared the principal's board or the teacher's board. Teachers used to have paddles in their own, in their own classrooms. But it was a nightmare if you got Doug and Cindy Spiker. Very good to have you, my friends. It was a nightmare if we got called down to the principal's office. I
That's
always
right.
said, Ginger. Everybody, this is Sean and Alana. You should know them. If you don't, I want you to get to know them. They are the Down Under Cruisers. They are our guests today, Friday's featured friend, and they are from Melbourne, Australia. Here we got, I believe this is John, J&N Travels. Hello, PAPAMOZO. You ask Sean for a time check, please. Oh, boy.
Now, wait a minute, John. Let me just say, if you were here at the beginning of the session, you would have got the time check. But just for you, it's 9:43.
It's 18:43 for him, but he's on Eastern. He's in New Hampshire. Oh my goodness, Sean and Ilana, if you ever want to see incredible, now I guess you'll just have to Google it, because it is where he lives is the most beautiful part of America in the autumn, and I think this week is peak week for the fall foliage.
Beautiful.
It is so beautiful, so beautiful. I
Lovely.
gotta scan my. They live near the White Mountains. They're in New Hampshire, and oh my gosh, my sister used to take seniors there on bus tours, and it is beautiful country this time of year. Ronnie, it is okay, my friend. Thank you for moderating for me, and thank you for all your help in getting my channel going. That is Life is Good today. Ronnie Stokes. He's going to be on right after mine. Love him. Looky who popped in here, trying to slip in under the radar. It is that sweet Vanderella from St. Louis. Vanderella, welcome in, my dear.
Welcome, Vanderella.
We've got Down Under Cruisers from the cruise community on the screen next to me. My eyes are covered because I look like I've had a 3-day bender, but I really haven't. Vanderella's married to Johnny, and they have well, I would call it a van, but Vanderella, what do you call that? They have remodeled like a big, I call it an Amazon truck, but it's because it's bigger than a regular van, but it's not like a huge motorhome. But they have, Johnny is a very talented, she is amazing with her woodworking skills and they've redone that whole thing and made a viable living community inside that little van. And I'm thinking, man, the days of putting some sleeping bags in the back of a van and bunking down, those days are over. They've taken things to another level. We converted a ProMaster high top. They have now their channel, if you want to write this down, Sean, it's spelled a little bit differently. It's JONNIE apostrophe S. Kelly, is that right? JONNIE. Johnny's Journeys, I believe is the name of it. So
I think I've actually had a look at that channel, and
familiar.
I think it's on one of my subscribes.
Well, they are a lovely couple from St. Louis, which is not too far from Chicagoland. They're about 5 hours from us, from my house. I don't know if they live right in St. Louis, but it's somewhere in the metropolitan area. Vanderella, Kelly, are you still in the mountains? Wait, who's in the mountains? And I didn't know it. And why didn't I get an invitation? I don't take up much room. One van will fit me. No, you know what? I would love to do something like that. I wish I had those skills. I have enjoyed watching Johnny and Vanderell, which her name is Kelly. She is going through nursing school right now, if you can
Oh,
imagine
that's
that.
awesome.
She decided to go back. Oh yeah, okay. Johnny's journey. Yeah, somebody put it on the. Or yeah, she did. Oh yeah, I forgot. She's tech savvy too. I know nothing about links. Uh, Everybody, if you want to put your now, don't put crazy stuff in. If you want to put your links into your channel, uh, they are with Andy and PAPAMOZO. They are with Andy and Barney. Andy and Barney. Andy and Barney. Oh gosh, I don't know. Johnny, if you want to put your link in, or if that's it, then that's fine. And the rest of you, if you want to put your link in this channel, please do so now. Um, you can, or no, wait, you gotta have a moderator. Chris, are you still in here? Is Chris still here? Chris knows how. Chris with See the World, SEA, See the World.
Chris knows everything.
He is an IT god, small g. He is an IT god. And we don't worship other gods, but I'm telling you, if you need IT stuff, that's the man with the plan, got the book in his hand. Chris can drop links because he's a moderator. I thought they told me you have to be a moderator or something. You see, okay, Chris, I'm here making burgers. And again, was I invited? No invitation for burgers. No trip to the mountains for Mozo. I've been bad. All I do is go to the hospital and have IVs put in and catheters. Oh, and get to drink shoes out of lawn mowing shoes. Oh my gosh. Chris, I'm wanting to put everybody's link in here so if people want to click on their link and go to the channels, they can, but I have no clue how to do that. I'd say you could probably flip burgers with one hand and type with another hand, knowing you're multitask. You're multitasking. You've got octopi skills. Elon,
I believe there's some new technology coming out, Papa. You soon, very soon, you won't have to type. It'll all be using the power of the mind.
Well, I've been accused of having that power, but I just give the credit.
Hang on. Your powers are different, right?
No, I'm just saying. Sometimes I hear and see things that other people don't. Well, I'll leave it at that. Let's say, now I think I smell a hamburger. Chris has got me smelling a smell that's not coming from here. PAPAMOZO. Chris can type all our links in. Okay. Chris, if that's easy, you can do it. If Nick is still here, Nick is supposed to be a moderator. Life is good today. Set all this up for me.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm telling you. IT, small letter G, God, IT God. J&N Travels, Visos, Vanderell with Johnny's Journey. Is it Journey or Journeys? Can't remember. Yep, still at Meetup in Mayberry. Are you in North Carolina? Vanderell, Kelly, are you in North Carolina? That's where Mayberry is. I think it's called Mount Pilot or something like that. Mm-hmm. Life is good today. Traveling with Nick. Nick is supposed to be one of the moderators here as well. Gosh, can you believe that time is running out already? Can't believe that.
It's quickly.
Very quickly, Papa. Very quickly.
Journey, yes, I can't thank you enough for joining me on this. I'm trying to showcase a different channel every week with the hope of getting folks interested in other folks and saying, well, I did this and I learned this. And then the next week I can hear from somebody in another part of the world that says, oh, I did this. I'll get this wrong. Traveling Tourist Taste. They're out of the UK. Travel, Tour, and Taste of Tourist Travel Taste or something like that. It's 3 T's. They're out of the UK. They just got back from Bulgaria.
Yeah, they're in Malta
And
right now. They did a live from Malta last night.
Okay, so you keep up with them.
Yeah.
Sarah
very,
and Kate.
very people. Do you know
Sarah
they found
hates
out
me.
that
You know that.
They're a lovely couple.
Sarah hates you?
She hates me.
doesn't.
She laughs at me all the time.
Oh, she might laugh at you, but she doesn't hate anybody. She's so
No, she
sweet.
doesn't actually. I'm just stirring.
They're a gorgeous couple.
They sent me a mug. They found out I collect mugs, and they sent me a mug from Bulgaria. And I thought that was so sweet. I couldn't believe I opened it, and it was packed up like something that came from Fort Knox. And I thought, well, what in the world? I didn't recognize the handwriting, and the lettering was of a different script than I'm used to. It was handwritten, but I wasn't used to that particular script. And I thought, well, what is that? Well, I guess she has her fancy curls to the Q's and the way the P comes around and that type of thing, and extra circles and all that. And I opened it up and it said something, it was decorated and said Bulgaria. I could not believe it. I said something in jest, and they took it seriously and sent me a mug from there. I thought that was the neatest thing. So I've got a couple extra mugs this year from the traveling community. Very nice people.
Just for your interest, Papa. We do have, because you mentioned to me earlier on Marco Polo, we do have a merch channel. We do have some merchandise which we get currently through Teespring, but we're looking to change a couple of things around. However, if you want a face mask or a mug, you can get that on the Teespring merch. And if you look at our channel, it's on. Go and look at our channels. You'll see it in the description at the bottom.
Please, everybody, I'm so sorry, Sean. I did not realize you had merch. Please, everybody, go look at their merch shop. Look at who's here, Sean. Look who that is.
Nancy. Hi there, Nancy.
Hey, Nancy.
Now, Nancy lives pretty close to me. She's about an hour from me. And she's on the Wisconsin side, and I'm on the Illinois side of the state line. And I have still not been up there to see them, but we've been so busy, and she's been so busy. But we always keep them in our prayer. But I want to get back real quick and let you know that the Down Under Cruisers, Sean and Ilana Ornelas, they are our guests. And I mistakenly said they don't have merch, and it was an automatic assumption on my part. Please forgive me. They do, in fact, they do have merch from Teespring. You can go look through their merch shop. It's in the description of their channel.
Yep.
Is it on some, do you have any videos or no?
Yeah,
we're getting some. We're finally putting up a little bit of travel content from past trips. Unfortunately, photography may not be great. I've just put one about my trip to South Korea, but at the time, I had no idea that this was going to happen. So it was really just for my benefit that I made my little videos on a tablet. Very poor quality, I'm sorry, but I hope you find it interesting anyway. And we're slowly getting up some more.
We currently have 41 videos up on our channel at the moment, and growing.
Okay. So people can go there, watch a video, look in the description, and find their Teespring link, and support them if you can. From if they're not monetized, where they can get super chats and things like that, support them in other ways. Buy a T-shirt, buy a hoodie, buy a mug, buy a face mask. Please support these people. This is global small business, and I normally say I believe in American small business, but I believe in mom and pop stores anywhere and everywhere. I would much rather buy something from you than I would from, and I have nothing against Walmart. I've shopped there all the time. But if I have a chance to get the same thing from a mom and pop place, I always do. Nancy says we got to do a meetup, PAPAMOZO. Yes, we do, Nancy. Okay. My time is up. I've got 17:57. I got what everybody else has. I want to let you go a couple minutes early so you can go pee and then come back and catch Ronnie and Alma's Life is Good today. For the rest of you, I'm going to be watching the whole night. Friday night, with the exception of members, down. Let me see. We've got Life is Good coming up from 7 to 8 Eastern. At 8 Eastern, we've had the Cuse Cruisers from 8 to 9. And then from 9 to 10, we've got Us and More from 9 to 10 Eastern. And then at 10 Eastern, these people on your screen right now, Sean and Ilana of the Down Under Cruisers, are going to be back on. We thank them for being up early and getting on our show. Come back and show some support to them. Is this the brunch program that you do?
Yeah, it'll be the brunch, which is now becoming the be without the lunch,
Yes,
really.
late afternoon tea will be soon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's true because of the daylight saving issue. Yeah. Do you still do where you like? I don't know if you'd call it trivia or casting or what. It's one of the things about your channel that I always loved, because you would ask fascinating questions, and there was such a chance. That's where I learned the word arvo. Arvo, and you know what? I use that all the time now, and I say, well, maybe not right now in the morning, but maybe sometime in the arvo. And all my American people say, excuse me, what's that? And I said, the arvo. And they're like, what the heck does that mean?
Well,
like, the arvo. You don't know what arvo means? Come on, get with it. You don't know what arvo is? It's afternoon. Everybody knows that.
Here's another one you could throw them with, Papa. Tell them you're going to have some chook for dinner.
Some chook?
Roast. Yes, having a bit of
roast chook.
I heard some. Now wait, what is that? Chook.
Chicken.
Oh, chicken. What was it? I heard you had a shortened version of McDonald's, McDo's or
Macca's.
We call it Macca's.
I heard somebody say that, not on here, but somebody the other day. It was an Australian show, and I forget what it. No, it was an English show. It was Graham Norton. I don't know if you ever watched Graham Norton.
I love him.
He's hysterical. He is so funny. And somebody, it wasn't Heath Ledger, it was somebody else from Australia that was on his show, and he says something about the food. He says, yeah, I'm going to go get some Macca's. And I thought, Macca's, I knew I'd heard that, and I had heard that on your show. But I always liked learning new things. And you guys were always so kind to be patient and teach. One thing I did know that most of my American friends did not know before your show.
Well, that's what we aim to do. We aim to teach.
I still, I'm on a crusade now to get all American supermarkets carrying Tim Tams. Oh my goodness. I am in total food lust, and I'm at the beck and will of a package of Tim Tams. If it speaks to me and tells me to, like, go try to smack my wife before she smacks me hard, I would probably try it just to satisfy the will of a package of Tim Tams. That is how good those things are. It is 1800. I must get off here. Everybody, please go over to Life is Good today and tell them it's the PAPAMOZO raid. I know that Ronnie and Alma would love to have you. They're only going to be with you an hour. We got Ronnie and Alma, then we got Cusies, then we got Us and More, and then it's back to Sean and Ilana at 10 Eastern. And then I think Raphael has a
he's got a premiere.
Premiere, that's what it is. At Raphael, what time is your
10:15 is his premiere.
Never mind.
11:15, I think.
11:15. I'm seeing two of everything. Okay. So Rafi's got that, and then after Rafi's is
Two Travel and Tour.
Two Travel and Tour, another TTT. Two Travel and Tour, which is out of Pittsburgh area. So a full night. Welcome to Friday Night Live, everybody. I say God bless you all. If you feel like you're alone in this world, you're just not. And if you feel like you're unloved, that's never true, because I love you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Take care, folks.
Bye now.